All right, brother, shalom. All praise to Yahweh,
Ba'ashem, Ba'ashai, Ba'ashem, Rakakadash.
All right, so we're going to just get in a couple of basic scriptures and try to go deep into them to find a deeper meaning of these basic scriptures, okay? So try to get this over quick. First scripture I'm going to go to is what's that scripture? Jeremiah 14:2.
I got it.
All right, yes.
This is Jeremiah 14:2.
You can say it a little bit louder.
It says, Jeremiah 14:2. Judah mourneth, and the gates thereof languish. They are black unto the ground, and the cry of Jerusalem is going up.
All right, brother, so go into it and break it down.
Okay. Yeah, Judah mourneth, man. Right, and the gates thereof languish. Judah is talking about basically Judah, Benjamin, Levi, right, the southern kingdom.
Yeah, you can speak a little louder.
I'm sorry, Judah mourning represents the southern kingdom of the nation of Israel. Judah, Benjamin, Levi, so-called Negroes, West Indians, and Haitians. And they're mourning in the gates thereof language concerning the leadership, all right, about people that basically, you know, what's going on in the earth. What you got? Our wicked people, you know, selling out their own people, you know, getting them put to death, getting them sacrificed for earthly riches, and not really telling them, you know, basically the truth of what's going on throughout the earth, man. Who they are as a people, all right? Why are they going through these things, man? All right? We're mourning, all right, because of what? Hey, this devil is over us. All right, we're under the curses. You know, soon.
So like, I got the definition of language, and the second definition is it says suffer from being forced to remain in an unpleasant place or situation.
See, we in slavery in America.
Language.
Yeah.
So we was forced to be in an unpleasant place or situation.
Yeah.
We're being forced, and that's a part of Deuteronomy, the curses.
Yeah, that's right. And it says Judah mourneth, and they say of language. They are black unto the ground. Now, to get further deeper into the scriptures, now we know that the so-called black man is called black. Of course, that's not our color.
Right.
All right? We're different shades of brown. Okay? It says Judah mourneth, and the gates thereof language, they are black unto the ground. Now we know if you look at the dirt of the earth, it's what? Dark brown. That black, that dark earth. Okay? That rich, because what's the richest soil? The richest soil is a darker soil, man. It says they are black unto the ground. Now, when you go into that word black, you can go into the Hebrew in that.
Come. And the word for black in that verse, all right, you'll find out is Qadar. All right, Qadarwa, right, which means dark skin. Now, there's another variation of the Hebrew, which is Shakor, all right, which that's in reference to an inanimate object, something that's like this phone right here. It's a black phone, all right, but the word Qadar in Hebrew goes into comparison, all right, pertaining to people, okay? So that Hebrew word for black is Qadarwa, all right, which is dark skin, okay? I just wanted to make a quick point about the leaders languishing. We see that in leaders like in the past, like Malcolm X, Martin Luther King. Those are one of the two main, because they were both what? So-called black men, right, from the tribe of Judah, which look at what happened to them. What happened to the leadership of Malcolm X and Martin Luther King? They got killed. They got put to death. You know what I'm saying? So what happened with them as being leaders?
Right.
Their whole movement and what they stood for was pretty much in vain.
Right.
Because they didn't have the truth.
Right.
Another definition of language going into the gates. It says to lose or lack vitality, grow weak or feeble. And you know, a gate was supposed to represent the gate of a city, which is supposed to be a border or to protect the city.
Right.
So when the scriptures say language, meaning the gate or the fortress grew weak, meaning there for the protection of Judah And those that was supposed to guide us grew weak and feeble over time, to where we don't have any defense. And that's why Judah is considered, and Israel in general is considered the lost sheep because they're defenseless without a shepherd.
That's right.
That's right. See, just to go deeper, now these are basic scriptures, but we're going deeper into it.
Yeah.
Okay? All right? So, okay, what's the next one?
Revelations 1 and 7.
Yeah, read that.
This is Revelations, the first chapter, and the 7th verse. It says, this is Yahweh Shai speaking, behold, he cometh with clouds, and every eye shall see him.
Yeah, and it says, behold, he cometh with cloud. Does that mean an actual cloud? No, because when you go into the scriptures, clouds represent the chariots, okay, which are the vehicles that the angels travel in, okay, all right, which the vehicle that Yahweh Shai is going to be coming in, okay. Now the so-called white man calls them UFOs, but they're not UFOs, all right.
That's on the back there. What you just said.
Right.
This is Psalms 104 and verse 3. Who layeth the beams of his chambers in the waters, who maketh the clouds his chariots.
You got it?
Yeah, going into that scripture back in Revelation 1 and 7. You know, he cometh with clouds, all right? Who maketh the clouds his chariot. That's the precept to back that up, you know? Just going through the spirit.
Right, and then there's many names for the chariots.
Right.
Okay, you got wheels within wheels. Okay, you got
Roll,
yeah,
flying roll,
flying roll.
Chambers.
chambers. That's right.
That's right. You got his fiery wheels.
Right.
Okay,
Right.
all right. That Yahweh himself sits on a fiery wheel, man. He says his throne is an actual chariot, man. Okay, all right. So go ahead. It says, behold, he cometh with clouds. Go ahead.
And every eye shall see him.
And every eye shall see him. So that's right. Even people that's blind gonna see Yahweh Shai when he comes, man. All right. It says, go ahead.
And they also which pierced him.
And they also which pierce him, which goes into reincarnation. Okay? And that's another thing that you got dudes that even call themselves Israelites don't even believe in reincarnation, man.
Right.
Okay? He said, and also them which pierced him. Now that happened, what, 2,000 years ago?
Right.
So that means these people got to be reincarnated back into the earth today.
Right. Everybody walking around here 2,000 plus years old.
Yeah, nobody's walking around here at the age of 2. I mean, listen, you watch some fantasy show or some shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Some fantasy movie. Nah, nobody's walking around here 2,000 years old, man. Those people are being reincarnated. Back in carnation flesh. So
Right.
back in the flesh. Okay?
Right.
And all kindreds of the earth shall wail because of him, even so among.
All right, now, your brother, go to the Blue Letter Bible on
Kindreds.
Kindreds 1 and 7, because that's specifically talking about a specific group of people. All right? You got it?
It says in the Greek it's phile, and the definition, a tribe in the NT, all the persons descending from one of the 12 sons of the patriarch Jacob.
Okay, so that's talking about 2/3 of so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. They're going well because of him, man. Okay? It says, behold, he cometh with clouds, and every eye shall see him, and they also which pierce him, and all kindreds, which is 2/3 of so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, all right, of the earth shall wail because of him. Even so, amen. Yeah, man, because all this time they've been saying the Lord is a so-called white man.
Yep.
You know, oh, you got niggas, Latinos, and Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans that don't believe that the Most High exists. All right, they into
Atheism.
atheism. They into black consciousness movement, talking about there's no pie in the sky. You know, and all that madness, man, and all that wickedness, them praising other gods and doing all this wickedness, man, murdering each other, selling drugs to each other, being part of the LGBT community. All right, taking the tickets to destruction in MOTB. You know what I'm saying? You know, so they're going well because of Yahweh Shai. Why? Because they know their judgment is coming, man. is coming back with that great spiritual power.
He gave him up to Pontius Pilate.
Yeah.
He gave him up.
That's right. They gave him up. That's right.
He said, "Let His blood be upon us and our children."
That's right. That's right.
And that's
That's
why
that
they're going
kindred.
well when he come back.
Oh, yeah, that,
King for Caesar.
yep, that goes back to that kindred. That one of the what is it, one of the tribes out of the 12 patriarchs of Jacob.
Yeah. So that goes 2/3 of you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. All right. So let's get the next one.
Revelation 11 and 8.
All right. And you can go into it.
Revelation 11 verse 8. And their dead bodies shall lie in the street of the great city. And their dead bodies is dealing with Israel, the Israelites, because we're showing the Ezekiel. Is it the 37th chapter?
Right, I got it right
It speaks about the dead bones. All right, the dead bones that would be in the valley, and a valley is a low land. In America, is known as the valley of the shadow of death. All right, so the dead bodies is representative of Israelites in America. All right, meaning you're dead from the neck up.
Right.
All right, your nationality has been stripped from you. You have been put into captivity under your enemies. You don't know your nationality. All right, you don't know who you are according to the Bible. All right, so the dead bodies, you are the dead bodies, man. It's showing the Ezekiel. You want to read it real quick?
Come. This is Ezekiel chapter 37. I'm gonna start at the first verse. The hand of the Lord was upon me and carried me out in the spirit of the
Yeah,
Lord.
you got a little bit louder.
A little louder,
so
brother.
they hear.
Come, and set me down in the midst of the valley, which was full of bones, and caused me to pass by them round about. And behold, there were very many in the open valley, and lo, they were very dry.
Yeah, this is the prophecy of how Israel would turn out from rebelling against the Most High, Yahweh Shem Shai. See, they would be dead bodies, all right, reminiscent to what the prophet Ezekiel is seeing in his vision. All right, this is you 12 tribes, you so-called blacks, Latinos, Native Americans. Go ahead.
Yeah, and then what precept goes with that?
Got it right here.
Bring it out.
Jeremiah 17, verse 4. And thou, even thyself,
That's it.
shall even discontinue on Jeremiah 17, verse 4. And thou, even thyself, shall discontinue from thy heritage that I gave thee, and I will cause thee to serve thy enemies in the land which thou knowest not. For ye have kindled a fire in my anger, which shall burn forever.
Right, that's right.
And who's that? Jeremiah. Jeremiah was what? An Israelite. And the Most High told Jeremiah that even himself should discontinue from his heritage. And that came upon the whole nation of Israel. Right?
I was gonna say the Apostle Paul said the same thing in the book of Thessalonians when he said that there shall be a falling away.
There you go. That's it.
Right. But yeah, go ahead. Bring it out.
Definition real quick of discontinue. Cease doing or providing something, typically something provided on a regular basis.
Right, because you got to understand in the scriptures, everybody has a culture, everybody has a ethnicity, a custom. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Israel, you so-called blacks, Latinos, Native Americans, you're a peculiar people, and you had customs and heritage that the Most High gave you, going back to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. We were to what? Keep that culture and that heritage and those customs, but Jake didn't. What they did was they went to the other nations and started following their ways. Okay? And now, the Most High, because of that, the Most High put curses on Israel and he scattered them amongst the other nations and put them in subjection to him. Okay? So this is only plays out to you so-called blacks, Latinos, Native Americans, man. Right?
Yeah. And what I was going to say, the precept is when you read, those are all good precepts, but the one I was looking for was
What?
pause it.